on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATM.
On Atlantic Television Network. Rivers State Governor Sir Simeon Fubara has reaffirmed his administration's dedication in bolstering the civil service to enhance growth and productivity within the state. Speaking to the members of the Forum of Rivers State Government teachers holding doctors and philosophic degrees during a peaceful appealing walk to the government house in Port Harcourt, Governor Fubara assured that his government would address his concern regarding proper placement and transfer to tertiary institutions. Represented by the Secretary to the Rivers State Governor, Dr. Tammy Danagogo, Governor Fubara emphasized his administration's comprehension of the challenges faced by the civil and public servants, citing his own background as a technocrat and former teacher. He assured the teachers that their plight was well understood and would be given proper attention. Political analyst Churchill Wale has called some PDP members in Rivers State, including Uche Sokundo, Celestine Omahia, and others, as ungrateful persons to the FCT minister who had immensely contributed positively to their political success. Speaking on Atlantic Television Open Conversation, Churchill Wale expressed disappointment on the members, lambasting the PDP members for speaking ill of Nyesom Wike during a recent press conference in Port Harcourt.
I worked with Omeha. Omeha, I would say he was my direct boss. If he were living, be watching me now, he would know. Wike gave him everything that he wouldn't have gotten as a former governor. Wike gave him things that, because the court law does not recognize him as a governor, but Wike reinstated him through the House of Assembly and gave him all his entitlements. It's very, very wrong when you come to bite a finger that fits you. Or when you have climbed a ladder and you want to push down the ladder that you used to climb. At a particular time, it will backfire you. These are the people that, in one way or the other, have benefited from Wike. Let me tell you about Secondus. Secondus was not supposed to be a national chairman. Wike fought the fight for him to be a national chairman in PDP. What brought the issue was Wike.
On his part, Dume Samson stressed on the need for politicians across the country to concentrate on good governance.
Meshed in a political season. It appears we are having an all-time politics. Even when it's time for governance, we're still talking politics, as though there's a campaign and there's an election that is holding the next day. Everybody trying to undo each other, everybody trying to bring down the order just to be relevant. That's what's happening in the politics of Rivers State. And it's becoming very embarrassing because we've been on this trajectory for almost a decade. You know, you remember that in 2014 into 15, when Nyesom Wike wanted to be the governor of Rivers State, we had a political crisis in this state. And that political crisis was sustained till he finished his government. Amechi was trying to undo him. He was trying to undo Amechi at the federal level until the expiration of that government. And now we now have Sim as the governor of Rivers State. We're still seeing the same pattern, the same thing that, you know, has kept us in these draconian states.
Bayelsa State House of Assembly has approved the request by Governor Doye Diri to appoint 24 special advisors. The Assembly note was called to the letter sent to the legislature by the governor seeking approval for the appointment of the heads. The letter was titled Request for Approval for the Appointment of Special Advisor. Names were not attached to the letter, which was read on the floor of the Assembly by the Clerk of the House. Adogu Kenneth During plenary presided over by the Speaker, Abraham Igobere, the member representing Southern Ijaw constituency to Edwin Bodo Obolo moved the motion for the Assembly's approval of the governor's request, which was seconded by his Southern Ijaw constituency 3 counterpart, Merlon Moses. They unanimously stated that the approval was necessary to provide legislative support to the governor. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has said the Nigerian Army was not taking law into its hands by declaring wanted some persons over the recent killing of 17 officers in Okoma community of Delta State. Musa said this in an interview on Wednesday. Some villagers in Okoma and some legal luminaries asked the Nigerian police force to handle investigation into the recent murder of 17 soldiers. The legal luminaries also berated the handing over of the traditional ruler of Ewo Kingdom Delta State, HRM Clement Ikolo, by the police to the army. Ikolo was one of the 8 persons declared wanted by the defense headquarters, DHQ Abuja, over the Okoma incident. According to the senior lawyer, it is not the constitutional duty of the army to investigate the murder. While speaking on the allegation against the army, Musa said it was premeditated just because the group of criminals, cultists, and militants make a lot of money from crude oil thefts, believing that they are above board. Cross River State Governor Basiotu has denied taking or signing any fresh domestic or foreign loans since he took over on May 29, 2023. The governor's reaction follows the worrisome figures presented by the spreadsheet of the Debt Management Office on its website. Speaking through its chief press secretary, Nsa Gele, Governor Otto wondered how the Debt Management Office arrived at 222.2 billion as the domestic debt profit of Cross River State as of December 2023, up from 204.4 billion posted for the state as of June 30th, 2023. The difference in the figures, subtracting 204 billion from 220.2 billion, is the purported 16.2 billion naira reported as a fresh domestic loan allegedly obtained by Governor Basiotu's administration. The chief press secretary said Governor Otto frowned on the misinformation portraying fresh borrowing and demanding scrutiny of the figures posted by the DMO. Deputy Governor of Edo, Philip Shaibu, on Wednesday prayed the 7 members investigative panel on his planned impeachment to obey an interlocutory injunction of the Federal High Court, Abuja. As its maiden sitting on Wednesday in Benin, Shaibu, through his lawyers, Professor Oladoyin Awoyele, said the panel sitting to investigate him would mount to fait accompli. He argued that there was a subsistent order of interrogatory injunction granted by the Abuja Federal High Court, and further hearing had been adjourned to April 8. Awoyele argued that with the court order, all parties are advised to obey the ruling. However, counsel to the House of Assembly and Deputy Clerk Legal Department Joe Olaifi argued that the panel sitting was supported by Section 108, subsection 10 of the Constitution, which foreclosed by court from the preventing the House of the Assembly and the panel from discharging its constitutional responsibility. State Chief Judge Daniel Okonawa constitute a panel headed by the retired Justice S.A. Omowa. Dr. Enes Ifeanyi Ebuigbe has been confirmed and installed as Chief Odozile, one of Okele Igbaneke in Orinwawum local government area of Edo State. Our correspondent completes the report.
Ambassador Dr. Enes Ifeanyi Ebuigbe, CEO of 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, has been confirmed and installed as Chief Odiazele 1 of Oligwe Banke in Orowom local government area of Edo State. The installation and traditional rites and rituals was performed in the palace of His Royal Highness Lucky Siosunde III Enoche of Oligwe in a banquet town, Edo State, on the 29th of March 2024. The ceremony witnessed elders, dignitaries, and well-wishers from all walks of life. His Royal Highness Lucky Siosunde III maintained that Ernest Ebiobe is a worthy son of the soil and deserves the title.
Nchone yende hanzere so onyo nchone yenzero ambassador Ebonigbe Ernest make ihe yemekole ye ale olije igbanke Orionwo local government of Edo State.
In a statement by the newly crowned chief Odozili I of Oligwe Banke, he thanked God and expressed appreciation to all those who made time to grace and honor the occasion.
Odozili means someone that elevates a lot of persons, one. Someone that ensures that the community is upright, and someone that ensures that community welfare is taken as top priority.
Highlights of the events include special performances from top musical acts and comedy.
Tout le monde roule, tout le monde danse, tout le monde roule, tout le monde danse. Jagaban! Why?
Well, if Jagaban already tell me get plan.
No, Jagaban carry $100. They show me.
As a widow and a less privileged, please make some noise for Oko Sisi 1 of Nigeria.
Meanwhile, the after party took a swipe with loads of extensive entertainment sessions. Friends and well-wishers had this to say.
My prayer for him is that longevity will be his portion.
We are here to witness the installation of my very good friend, Mr. Ernest Eboibe in Ebanke, the CEO, Elbow Play Lounge and Eloquent Suit.
It's my very good friend and a confidant, a man that I love so much.
For the coronation of a big friend, a brother indeed, and a brother in need. He's a very good friend of mine, Chief Ambassador Ernest.
Ambassador
him for civil servants. This was disclosed by Oke Kano, Commissioner for Information and Culture, on Tuesday after the State Executive Council meeting in Omoya. Kano said the goal is to give pensioners a sense of belonging. He stated that the government had issues on as a directive for all pensioners to be paid on the 28th of every month like civil servants in the state. Kano added that the government has directed that ongoing forward pensioners would be paid their monthly pension in full as against half payments, which was usually the case in the past. At least 5 persons were killed and others injured during a gun deal between security operatives and gunmen on Tuesday in Anambra. The incident took place when the Anambra Joint Security Force invaded 2 camps of the gunmen in Agule Ezio Kuchuku, Ogwaita Council area and Oboeji Orumba South Council area respectively. It was gathered that during the raid by the security operatives, some items like local fabricated rockets, launcher, charms, police uniform, among others, were recovered. Though Anambra Police spokesman Kenga Tochukwu did not disclose their casualty figures, it learned that 4 gunmen and the police operative died during the shootout. A statement by the police commander in Akwa on Wednesday explained the hurt for the gunmen has been extended to Obiafia Forest, Agulo Uze Chuku, and the Oboeji areas. Operatives of the Enugu State Police Command and the Neighborhood Watch Group has rescued kidnapped victims following a gun deal with the abductors along Ekegbe Road in Odi local government area. This was made known in a statement by the State Police Public Relations Officer DSP Daniel Ndukwe on Wednesday. The statement also said the Commissioner of Police CP Kanyayo Ozuegbu condemned their video alleging that another police team reported to the incident, but without clear knowledge of the location of the first responding team. The commissioner described the allegations contained in the viral video as an unfortunate act of mischief that is obviously aimed at mining and distracting the police from fronting, tackling, and purging Enugu State of these herd criminals and their activities. Lagos State Task Force has commenced demolition of illegal shanties and dislodgement of defendants' quarters, numbering several hundred along Vagbe corridor in ongoing clean-up exercise after the launch of the Red Line rail project of the state government. In the process, the enforcement team of the task force impounded a total of 359 commercial motorcycles, popularly called Okada, that operated on restricted routes, said highway and bridge located in those areas, and several shanties that have sprawled up against along Vagba rail track. Chairman of the agency, Chief Superintendent of Police Shola Jejeloye, covered areas like Fagbo Rail Track, Ijo Shanta, Abato, and Pen Cinema. Jejeloye explained that during the enforcement, miscreants who loitered around the Abiato supported the Okada operators in resisting arrest and causing mayhem to prevent the confiscation of the bikes, but were subdued by the tactical and combatment superiority of the task force. Jejeloye disclosed that the confiscation of Okada would go a long way in reducing crimes and incidents of bag snatching, which most perpetrators make use of Okada as a getaway means. Nigerian Army 35 Artillery Brigadier Alamala Abiyokuta said it has handed over 441 purpose-sized substance suspected to be cannabis stavis weighed 223 kg to the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency Ogun State Command. Acting Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, 35 Artillery Brigadier Alamala Abiyokuta, late Mohammed Goni, stated this in a statement he made available to journalists in Abiyokuta, Ogun State capital. Goni said the troop of the brigadier has on Friday 29 March 2024 intercepted a Mazda bus conveying the substance at Molobede village in Odeda local government area of the state. He said that the Commander 35 Artillery Brigadier General Mohammed Aminu commended the troop for their efforts, urging them to continue to remain vigilant in their various locations. Speaking while handing over the substance, the commander, represented by the officer commanding 35 Province Company, Major Gadima Abdullahi, reiterated the brigadier will continue to sustain all efforts in collaborating with other security agencies to rid the state of crimes and other social vices. Analyst Aduyemi Weld has lauded the move for a new retirement age by the Ogun State government, adding that the move to extend the working age of civil servants, especially in the educational sector, will help to reposition the operations, delivering well as the educational status quo in the state. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network Society Watch, Weld stated that the educational system had long suffered the result of unsustainable policies and unrealistic remuneration.
Or a solution to cover the space and vacuum that sector, particularly the educational system in that state. The vacuum it has been subjected to over time, implying that the profession, particularly in that cadre, is not appealing to the younger generation. And then the stiffness of the system towards recruiting persons who probably have passion or who are desirous of picking up a career line in that space. So, the
Ogun State government to reconsider its condition for benefits in extension scheme.
the procedure of benefiting from this extension clause put up by the governor centered on registering with the organ regulating, supervising, coordinating the activities of that profession. And then you, in certain spaces, you have some persons who have just, it dawned on them that suddenly they are now teaching. Not because they wanted to. And it was not also bettered out of passion, but it's because of, to keep body and souls together. Otherwise,
Recall that the Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has approved guidelines to enjoy the new retirement age. 38-year-old farmer Abubakar Mohamudu was on Wednesday arraigned in an Iyaganko Magistrate Court, Ibadan, for allegedly being in possession of a local-made pistol with one live cartridge. The police charged Mohamudu with the unlawful possession of his live cartridge. Earlier, prosecution counsel Femi Omilena informed the court that the defendant allegedly committed the offense on February 16th at Akinyele area, Ibadan. He said the offense contravened the provision of Section 428 of the Criminal Laws of Oyo State 2000. The defendants pleaded not guilty to the charge. Magistrate G. Oladele admitted the defendants to bail in the sum of 100,000 and 2 shorties in like sum. She adjourned the case until May 23rd for hearing. Family of the well-known Islamic scholar Shika Daru Usman Bauchi has dismissed a misleading report insinuating the death of the clergy. Usman Bauchi, who is one of the leaders of the Usfim Tajiniya movement in Nigeria, was reported dead in the early hour of Wednesday. In a swift reaction, Sanusi Dariru, a family member of the clergy, said that this 97-year-old scholar is healthy and hearty. He said Shakiru Dahiru Bauchi will leave Abuja for Kaduna tomorrow for the closing ceremony of the annual Kwal Tafa, where he was represented by his son, Dr. Sulimbai Daru. Federal Capital Territory Police Command has raided suspected kidnappers' hideout and loud in the hill and barge surrounding Akpo resettlement in Abuja. Command's Public Relations Officer SP Josephine Aude made this known in a statement on Wednesday. According to the statement, Igwe urged residents to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities to the police. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, has commended residents of the territory for their patience following the incumbencies and ongoing projects across the FCT have caused. We can give the commendation in the Abuja on Wednesday after they inspected some ongoing projects in the territory. He promised that some of the projects would be delivered in May to celebrate President Bola Tinubu once a year in office. The minister also inspected road project in Diplomatic Zone Gozabwe, though not part of the project for the inauguration in May, according to the minister, but may be completed in the next 1.5 years. A fund will release. He assured residents that the FCT administration will make the fund available to ensure its completion. The minister also thanked Tinubu for signing the 1.28 trillion FCT 2024 appropriation into law, adding that the development will enable the FCT administration to begin procurement processes. Borno State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of 8 suspects in connection to the alleged murder of the lecturer at the Department of Physical Health Education at the University of Maiduguri, Dr. Kama Abdullah was murdered in his office on campus on Sunday. The victim was found on Monday with several injuries inflicted on his body by his killer. The command's police public relations officer, Nanu Dasso, told newsmen that the attackers also carted away the lecturer's vehicle's phone and laptop. He explained that an investigation into the matter was still ongoing. Reacting, the director of the Radio and Public Relations, Professor Danjo Magambo, who spoke on behalf of the Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Abdullahi Shabgaba, said the police and other security agencies have already launched an investigation to unravel the circumstances surrounding his death. Governor Caleb Mustawan of Plateau State has called on citizens to collaborate for peace, unity, and good governance. He also called for return to the spirit of love and brotherhood practiced in the past. Mustawan stated this while breaking fast with the Muslim Ma at the new government house in Little Rayfield Jos. The governor emphasized the significance of the gathering is fostering mutual understanding, strengthening bond of brotherhood, and collectively working together towards a peaceful united and prosperous Plateau. He underscored the importance of transcending differences in faith, ethnicity, or status to combat the common challenges facing the state. While expressing gratitude to the Emir of Kefi, His Royal Highness Ada Shehu Chiando Ya Musa, the Emir of Bago, Hel Mohammed Sani Hariru, and other Islamic leaders for the presence at the events, the governor noted that their participation will help to foster cohesion and enduring friendship across divides. While storm has killed one person, injured several others, and destroyed over 100 houses in Abashi community in Doma local government area of Nasarawa State. Vice Chairman of Doma Council area John Dako Are, while confirming the incident to newsmen on Wednesday, said the tragedy occurred on Tuesday. Bakari said more than 100 houses were affected, including Bashi Central Mosque, a primary school, and several other public structures. Also speaking on the incident, the acting chairman of Agbashi Development Association, Anthony Oshinyeka, described the incident as unfortunate. Oshinyeka urged the government to urgently intervene to cushion the effects on the people of the community. He called for immediate release of the relief materials and medical aids to the victims of the windstorm. Katsina State government has refuted the claim by the Debt Management Office that the Governor Diko Rada-led administration has increased the state's debt profile. A report recently published by the DMO indicated that Katsina under Governor Rada, together with some other states of the Federation, collected fresh loans to worsen their prevailing debt crisis. The spokesperson for the government, Mahim Kalula Mohammed, however, in a statement on Wednesday, faulted the report, stating that the Governor Rada's led government has preoccupied itself with repaying subsistence loan or secured by previous administrations since it came on board. The statement further noted that not a single new loan has been collected by the present All Progressives Congress governments in the state under Governor Rada. Joint Security Task Force in Riga community of Guarzo local government area of Kano State has thwarted a mob action on the suspected kidnappers by 100 of irate youth carrying dangerous weapons. Youth in their numbers tried manhandling the two suspected kidnappers after the two were arrested on allegations that they were behind several adoptions of innocent indigents in the area. Speaking to newsmen shortly after an emergency security meeting, the acting chairman of the council, Dr. Mani Tosho, who was visibly shocked by the attack of the youth who vandalized vehicles belonging to security agencies, called for calm and order immediate arrest at the perpetrators. He called on the people of the area to be law-abiding citizens by not taking laws into their hands in the future. According to the members of the Riga community, Shuabo Sani Mato, the two suspected kidnappers whose names were withheld from Katsina State. Zamfara state government has ordered immediate restriction of movement along the state border with Katsina and Sokoto from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. due to the reinsurgence of the terrorist attack on the innocent travelers. Commissioner for Information and Culture, Maina Hadara, discloses in a statement, noting that the directive was part of the decision of the State Security Council meeting. He said this was to tackle the increased kidnapping of travelers along the Sokoto-Gushu Funtu Highway. According to the Commissioner, all tourists and travelers are directed to abide by the government order. Security agencies are directed to monitor the two borders and ensure full compliance. You are watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break.
On the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. On ATN.
This is a transition on Atlantic Television Network, and now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday signed Loan Access to Higher Education Act, Repeal and Re-Enhancement Bill 2024 into law. These developments follow individuals' reviews by both the Senate and the House of Representatives of the report from the Committee on Tertiary Institution and Tech Fund. The bill, sponsored by Senator representing Ekiti Central Senatorial District of Ekiti State, Bamidele Opoyemi, aimed to improve the execution of the higher education students loan scheme in Nigeria by tackling issues related to the management structure of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, applicants' eligible criteria, loan support funding source, and procedure for disbursement and repayment. Under this bill, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund would be established as the legal entity with the authority to legitimate with the to be legitimated in its own name, and would possess the power to acquire, hold, and dispose of both movable and immovable property to fulfill its function. In essence, the bill enabled the fund to offer loan to eligible Nigerians for their institution fees charged and living expenses while studying in approved tertiary institution and vocational training centers in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu has expressed sadness over the death of the former president of Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Ali Chiroma. Tinubu, through a message conveyed by his media aide, Ajiri Ngelele, on Wednesday, condones with the family, the organized labor community, and everyone impacted by their painful loss. According to the president, Chiroma was the former president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, who equally held various positions within the trade union hierarchy. Recalling the endeavors of the former Labour leader at the trying time in the first of the nation, Tinubu affirmed that Chiroma stood up for the independence of the NLC and dogged in defense and downtrodden when it mattered the most. He prayed that the Almighty Allah grant repose to soul of the departed while ensuring his family of the elder statesman man of his thoughts and prayers in the movement of grief. Nigerian Labour Congress has called on the federal government to make retirement easy for Nigerian workers, especially now that the country is facing economic challenges. NLC President Joe Ajero made the appeal on Wednesday when they received the delegation from the XEM Consulting Limited, a subsidizing of the XEM Group's organizers of the maiden pre-retirement summit scheduled to hold in Abuja from April 24 to April 25th. Ajero said that a lot has been said about contributory pension without significant improvements from the regulators. Ajero regretted that pension matters in the countries were becoming more about rhetoric than action. He therefore urged the federal and the state government to tackle the issues of workers' pension serious and ensure they enjoy life after retirement. Family of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kalu, has written an open letter to Southeast governors seeking their immediate action and intervention to secure his release. This is coming barely 1 month after the family has accused Igbo political elite of abandoning the IPOB leader to his fate. Prince Emmanuel Kalu, who wrote the letter on behalf of the family, raised the alarm that his brother is gravely ill and should not be allowed to die in the custody. He said that the history would not be kind to the governors if they keep quiet and do nothing to secure Kanu's release, or has been unlawfully incarcerated since June 2021. Prince Emmanuel said his brother's arrest and continued detentions were politically motivated and aimed at suppressing his voice as a freedom fighter. Federal High Court Abuja is set to align Binance executive Tijran Bambarian and Naden Awara on Tuesday. Bambarian and Anawala will be charged before Justice Emeka Nwit on 2 separate counts. The one filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which bordered on money laundering, has 5 counts. The other charge filed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service has 4 counts, in which they are accused of sundry tax infractions. Anjawala, who escaped custody in March 22, will be aligned before Justice Nwati in absentia. It is charged filed on the March 28. The EFCC accused Binance executive of laundering about $335 million. Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the detention of a Nigerian accused of being a member of the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, Emmanuel Osa, for 60 days. Trial Judge Inyang Okwo gave the order following the motion ex parte filed by the Department of the State Service. At Wednesday's proceeding, the applicant's counsel A.A. Uge told the court that the matter was brought pursuant to Section 666, subsection 1 of the Terrorism Act 2022. He prayed the court for an order enabling the applicant to detain the respondents for 60 days pending the conclusion of the investigation. Ruling Justice Ekwo Evacuation Judge granted the prayer of the service. Justice Ekwo subsequently adjourned the matter till June 3, 2024. Osei, who was arrested on March 11, was accused of propaganding the message of the terrorist group opposing the democratic system of the government in Nigeria and calling for the terrorist attack on Nigeria and its symbols of sovereignty. The 10th president of Inyati Hala Kotai Ojo Bello Obodejo has told the Federal High Court Abuja that he had no criminal record. Obodejo, who was arrested on the alleged rising of armed militia in deterrent of the nation's unity, told Justice Inyangokwo in a motion for bail filed by the lawyer Raji that he had suffered from grave ill health in custody. In the motion filed March 28, they sought on order admitting him to bail on literal team pending the hearing and determinations of the case against him. Recall that Bodejo, who was arrested on June 23 in Malias, Nasarawa State, and kept in the custody of the Defense Intelligence Agency, was arraigned before Justice Ekwo on March 22. He was arraigned on the 3-charge count bordering on terrorism. Upon resuming hearing on Wednesday, counsel who appeared for Bodejo, Dr. Suleiman Usman, told the court that they had a bail application which was stated for hearing. The prosecution lawyers, Y.A. Imana, did not oppose Usman's plea for an adjournment. And now to some business reports. Turnover at the foreign exchange markets pledged to $166 million on Wednesday, 24 hours after hitting the historic $1 billion mark. Data from FMDQ shows that the turnover of the fixed transfer dropped significantly to $166 million on Wednesday from $1.85 billion the previous day. However, the naira appreciated against the dollar at the official foreign exchange market. FMDQ data at the close of the work shows that 1,262.85 naira was exchanged for the dollar on Wednesday compared to 1,278.58 on Tuesday. This represents a gain of 15.73 naira compared to the 127.8 per USD trade on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the price of foodstuff remained on the high side following the soaring inflation. Nigeria's food inflation in February skyrocketed to 37.92%. Trade Union Congress says no Nigerian received 20 hours of power supply per day. Noting that the new electricity tariff hike is unacceptable, TUC's Deputy President Tommy Etim disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday. Recall that the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory approved a 250% electricity tariff hike for electricity cost consumers in Board A, in Brand A, home in urban areas. And NERC said customers with a 20-hour power supply which fall under the Band A will pay 225 naira per kilowatts from 68 naira. However, TUC has flaunted the Nigerian government, saying it is only interested in revenue generation at the expense of citizen survival. Nigerian Customs Service recorded a 5% decline by posting 311,492 in the volume of single goods declaration for the import in the first quarter of 2024 and increased duties. NCS disclosed this in its Q1 2024 report released on Wednesday. The figure showed a 15,999 decline from the 327,492 recorded in Q1 2023. The service blamed flaunted imported duties for the drop in SGDs. Comptroller General of Customs Adewale Adeyini said the country issued about 28 import rates in Q1 2024, which resulted in a drop in SGDs. Meanwhile, NCS recorded a 122.35% increase in revenue after it posted 1.3 trillion naira for Q1 2024. Still ahead, international debate. President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, has accused Russia of preparing to mobilize an additional 300,000 troops to the battle line in his country by the beginning of June. Zelensky disclosed this during a press conference in Kyiv on Wednesday. He, however, said that it was unclear how many troops Ukraine planned to mobilize this year, but backtracked on his previous goal, saying, "We don't need half of a million." This is coming a few days after Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a routine spring conscription campaign into action, which called up 150 citizens for military service. Ukraine's military intelligence also recently reported that Russia was likely aiming to ramp up its mobilization efforts following the country's presidential election, in which Putin won over 87% of the vote. The Kremlin has faced backlash from Russian citizens in the past over military recruitment efforts to bolster its defense against Ukraine. Intelligence source involved in the Israeli-Hamas war has revealed how the Israel's military bombing campaign in Gaza used a previous undisclosed AI-powered database that at one stage identified 337,000 potential targets based on their apparent link to Hamas. The source disclosed this as its addition to the AI system called Lavender. The Israeli military officials permitted large numbers of Palestinian civilians to be killed, particularly during the early week and month of the conflict. The Guardian UK, quoting the source, said that the Israeli intelligence officials have been using machine learning systems to help identify targets during the 6-month war. The newspaper reports that the testimony from the 6 intelligence officers, all who have been involved in the use of lavenders, was given to the journalist Yuval Abraham for the reports published by the Israelis Palestine's publication, plus 972 magazine and the Hebrew language outlet called Local Call. Former United States President Donald Trump has instituted legal action against 2 co-founders of Trump's media over the mismanagement of his social media site, Truth Social. Trump said the 2 men, Wuz Moses and Andy Litinsky, should lose their share of the company for mismanaging its social media site. The Doe already filed a suit against Trump in February to prevent him from reducing their 8.6% share in the firm. They pitched the ideas of the Truth Social following the Capitol riots after Trump was banned from Twitter, now X. Their shares are currently valued at around $600 million. Both co-founders met Trump as contestants on NBC's The Apprentice reality show. In a lawsuit filed on March 24 in the Florida State Court, a lawyer for the former president said Messer, Moses and Litinsky were in charge of the Trump's media and technology group's daily operation, but fell spectacularly at every turn. Trump's media and technology groups is the parent company of Truth Social. Trump's lawyers claim that 2 executives in particular slowed down the process of taking Trump's media public, including by finding an appropriate merger company. TMTG went public last week through the merger with a Special Purpose Acquisition Company, or SPSC. In their February lawsuit, Moses and Litinsky claimed the former president was trying to reduce their stake in the firm by increasing the company's total number of shares from 120 million to 1 billion. Trump founded TMTG in 2021 after he was kicked off the major social media platforms for his action during the January 6 Capitol riots. Moses and Litinsky suggested Truth Social as the alternative to mainstream social media sites. They later agreed to the deal in which Trump would own 90% of the platform, which was a private company. Shares in the Truth Social skyrocketed last week, surging as high as $79 after Trump media went public, despite the business facing government's investigation and order handles in its major deal. The stock price has since fallen considerably. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has hailed Philip Foden's incredible gift of scoring goals. Foden scored a sub-lane hit track as City thrashed Aston Villa 4-1 on Wednesday night. With the team's league leading scorer Erling Haaland and unused substitute, the England midfielder stepped up to the Premier League champion. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has admitted the team will struggle to qualify for the Champions League. United travel to Chelsea in Tuesday. Let's kick off in 6th position. Hag will be without Lissandro Martins and Victor Lindelof of the Prime League clash. Looking Shaw and Tyrell Malacia remain unavailable for selection too. Ahead of the game, Ten Hag has said it would be difficult for United to finish in Champions League spots. Bayer Leverkusen manager Xabi Alonso has expressed his delight following the Victor Boniface return from the injuries. Boniface made his first appearance for Sheikh in 2024 against the Fortuna Düsseldorf on Wednesday night. The 23-year-old underwent surgery for an abductor injury in January. The Nigerian international took the place of Patrick Schick in the 66 minutes. Alonso poured it on the striker and said it was important to have him back on the pitch. The striker has so far registered 16 goals and 7 assists in 25 appearances across all competitions for Leverkusen this season. And now to entertainment news. Nigerian singer Gabriel Ocha Anayi, popularly known as Terry J, has opened up on the relationship with his colleague. The Akpakoma star explained that he doesn't have a strong relationship with any of his colleagues currently, which he partly attributed to his personality trait. He stated that he is a loner and has never had a friend. American singer and rapper Rod Wave has been arrested for possession of a firearm. According to arrest record, he was arrested in the Manatee County, Florida on Wednesday. The St. Petersburg Police Department at the press conference hosted after the arrest alleged that the Rod Wave was connected to a gun-related shooting in Florida that led for bystander injury outside of Sonic Sport Bar in St. Petersburg. The incident happened on Sunday, March 31st. St. Petersburg Police Chief Mike Kovskev said 3 of the apprehended assailants